think we're going to open this up to any questions that folks have, either on previous projects or maybe even a group discussion here. But I guess before we do that, I would just like to also thank all of the sponsors of this event. I don't know if the Alaska Power Association and Renewable Energy Alaska Project were fully recognized. So thank you all for that. And as well, of course, the Denali Commission and the University of Alaska Fairbanks and Alaska Energy Authority, and then National Renewable Energy Lab. So thank you all for your assistance and participation in that. And so, yeah, just in general, I mean, I think we're both looking for feedback from folks here, participants, and obviously any more detailed questions you have for any of the grant recipients. But I think part of the big issue is also really trying to get information back up to legislators to show how this is a really valuable program. And so if people have comments or thoughts or how we could improve the program, that would be great. So any comments are welcome.
First, yeah, I wanted to say thank you and very impressive to all the presenters. It seems like a lot of great work, and thanks to the Denali Commission for all this help. This was a question, and I don't know who in the room could best answer this, but I was wondering, I know there's been talk around Juneau of the Denali Commission maybe making an offer for another matching grant for the Emerging Energy Technology Fund if it's extended and funded by the legislature again. I was wondering if anybody knows where we are in that process right now, if it looks like there's a chance for extending for another year and therefore getting a matching fund and having I guess we have round 0 and now they have round 1. Round 2, what's it look like?
Good question.
Appreciate that. I can address the Denali Commission's perspective. There's $2.4 million in what we call our draft work plan, the section in the whole Denali Commission work plan that applies to energy. That is in its draft form. It has been recommended by our advisory committee to the commissioners. That process is underway and is pending appropriation. So we don't actually know what our funding is, and we're just really moving that process forward with the anticipation that we will, fingers crossed, get that funding. That is contingent upon a 50% match. It doesn't have to come from the legislature, but certainly that's the obvious place. We have heard some indication that there's an interest on behalf of some of the legislators to make that happen, but I can't speak on their behalf, so I don't know if anyone else in the room has more intel there, but that's the situation from the Commission's perspective.
Yeah, are there any other thoughts, comments, questions?
Did we spend it all? We spent all the energy? Okay.
Yeah, I noticed I noticed there's an event planned in September again here in Juneau, and I just wondered if there's an intent to have another show and tell of these projects at that event, or is this an opportunity to think about getting the next 6 months experience from these projects?
Thanks for that question. For those grantees that have not yet provided a presentation, it is a grant requirement. We haven't made a decision as to what the best forum would be for those. Now that we're done with this one, I think we'll probably huddle and make that decision. Certainly it may be that it makes sense to kind of work with AEA as they've selected projects with their round. Maybe it makes sense to do something together, but I don't know. We have not had that conversation. But for those of you that are grantees that haven't done your presentation yet, you're still on the hook. So.
I'd like to make a request of the grantees before we do this band, and if I could get an opportunity to take photos of everybody together, I'd really appreciate that.
And one thing that was just mentioned as well is that there are some folks from AEA here, and as far as the RFA that's out on the street right now, I don't know if anybody has any specific questions or thoughts or comments about that.
Yeah, I guess this really goes to Peter Krimp from Alaska Energy Authority. So we were involved in the Denali Commission Emerging Technology grant application process, and now AEA's got one coming. I wonder if you could kind of give us an idea if your emphasis or goals are similar for that program. Are there any distinct differences, or is it going to be quite similar? General question.
It's going to be way better.
I guess I'll field this one. And what we're looking at for this next round of applications, obviously we had some lessons learned in round 0, so we're planning on incorporating a lot of that information. But basically the net has been cast fairly wide, and because it is emerging energy technologies. So we're taking a look from energy conservation to storage to construction materials. Basically, what we're trying to do is open it up so that basically anyone can come forward that can provide a good demonstration project that is possibly commercially viable here in Alaska. So the net is wide. Yeah.
Would there be an emphasis more on projects that are kind of more developed, or feasibility studies still going to be considered on an equal level? Because I know, like in the Renewable Energy Grant Fund, there's a tendency to fund. It's more common to fund projects that are shovel-ready or already in progress. Is that a similar trend in this application?
We're kind of at this similar stance as round 0 in that we want demonstration projects. This isn't a pure research, and so we want something that we can go out there and test the technology. Yeah. And there's going to be there's more information out in the RFA. If you take a good look at that document, it addresses part of that on the technology readiness level. And again, as I stated earlier, there have been some amendments, and those amendments will be out this week in a press release and also via the listserv. And those address just a couple of changes around the technology readiness level. So please, if you have questions like that, take a look at the document that's out there right now. Be sure to take a look at the amendments that will be coming out in the press release. And if you have additional questions, feel free to contact me.